we're talking delays. The rain should move on through, so I wouldn't cancel any big birthday parties you have planned just yet. Just check the weather app and note that things will be moving along. Let's talk about what's happening now. Again, very dry in the short term. If you have plans for this evening, temperatures in the 70s out there right now, but to the northwest, this is what's on the way. The more significant storm activities happening way back into Texas right now. We have severe thunderstorm watches, tornado watches happening. I'm not expecting this kind of weather tonight. Just want to point that out. But later on, some of these showers could start to reach us after midnight. The atmosphere is going to take a little while to moisten up. We're now seeing the clouds. And then by tomorrow, if it does become unstable enough, if we are able to see some of those upper 70s, close to 80, that's when we could get some storms popping up and maybe some of this storm activity to the northwest of us. A few rumbles that may manage to hold together and reach us in West Alabama. If that happens, again, the main concern, if we have any strong storms that pop up next several days, gusty winds, maybe some hail producers out there we'll need to watch out for. Not expecting a tornado threat, anything like that. But the radar, again, showing that wet weather you can see back to the north, places like Fayetteville. Next 24 hours, this is what the forecast radar shows. Some of the latest data that we have shows that we stay dry at least through midnight. But here it comes. You can see those showers starting to move in late tonight. And then in the morning, when you hit the road, make sure you check in with Matt and Mickey. Could be some of this wet weather around early in the day, some showers, and certainly milder in the morning with those temperatures there in the 50s. And notice a pretty good coverage there showing up by 11 o'clock in the morning. Again, that's going to move on through. This is from the HRRR model, which shows right there from about 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. a period of rain. But this will probably change. You know, we're getting more and more data as we get closer. We'll certainly get a better handle. Just note that that wet weather chance is certainly there by late morning into the early afternoon. So that's what we're talking about, those showers and storms back in the forecast. And the gardens could use a little bit of, could use a sip of water. It's been kind of dry, kind of windy. That really helped to dry things out as well for this week. But we'll talk more about those changes as we continue right here on Weather Extra. And we'll also take you beyond the 7-day forecast. We're going to be looking at that drought monitor update as well as we continue here. You are watching Weather Extra.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome into Good Day, Alabama.
A new morning comes with preparing right, because while you slept, news broke.
We have new information from that breaking news that happened this morning.
While you head out, the storm we gave you the first alert for is on its way in. And as the key turns the ignition, your shorter route to work is being found.
Avoid 459 southbound completely because of a crash.
A new morning means everything you need for a good day is on Good Day, Alabama, always on your side.
The first alert traffic you need to get you there safe and on time. Tomorrow morning, everything you need for a good day is on Good Day, Alabama.
You're late, out the door, and on the go. Don't worry.
Good Day, Alabama continues all morning long.
And wherever you watch, this is what you need to know right now.
More reporters on the streets with more hours of news when you need it. Everything you need for a good day is on Good Day, Alabama. Knowing first is everything. First Alert Weather.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan, and as Wes said, may the 4th be with you. Today is National Star Wars Day, and hey, we have a few ideas for how you can celebrate this evening. Obviously, start with getting cozy with your favorite movie or TV show. I honestly love Andor so much, and Mandalorian this past season was all right, and you always gotta love Mando and Grogu, but get you a good snack and binge watch, or you can keep up with the official Twitter account. I don't know if anyone's even keeping up with Twitter anymore, but hey, you can certainly keep up with folks on Instagram. How about that? And if you're like me and you're a highly sensitive person and soundtracks make you sob, you can listen to the Star Wars soundtrack today. We all love that. And of course, we can always pay homage to the late Carrie Fisher, who played Princess Leia, whom we know and love. So we got a lot of Star Wars geeks here in the studio. One of those being meteorologist Matt Daniel. He gives us an update not on Tatooine, but on the drought monitor here in central Alabama.
Hope you've had a wonderful Thursday. Of course, this week we've been spoiled with dry air, sunshine, and not much in the way of rain. But as you know, rain chances are ramping up as we go into tomorrow and into the weekend. So let's talk about the rain and the latest drought monitor. Let's go to last month, April. Normally we'll average about 4.5 to 5 inches of rainfall for the month of April. And if you look at Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, and Anniston, we definitely hit that average and probably even went above that, except for Anniston, a little bit close to that. But it was pretty wet in April, and which is pretty common for this time of the year. Here's a look at the monthly average rainfall over the 12 months. And as you can see, for May, we average about 5 inches of rain. And our wet months are usually March, April, and then it peaks again as we go into July. And of course, our dry months in fall as you go into September and October. Let's talk about May. How much rainfall do we typically see in Tuscaloosa? About a little over 3.5 inches is where you should be for the month of May, and about 4.25 inches of rainfall in Anniston. Right now we haven't recorded anything, but that will likely change over the next 5 to 7 days. Here's the latest drought monitor, and of course, we're looking pretty good across a good bit of the southeast. The main drought concerns across the central United States. We'll zoom down towards the Gulf Coast. Notice some drought conditions starting to ramp up to extreme just north of Tampa. Orlando looking at a moderate drought, and then just some abnormally dry conditions for parts of southwest Alabama, but we're looking pretty good across central Alabama. Let's talk about potential rainfall over the next 5 to 7 days, and notice for the next 7 days, generally we're looking about 1 inch to maybe 1.25 inches in many locations. But our pattern that we're entering in, some spots could see more than this, others could end up dry, but sort of like that summertime pattern, it's going to be hit or miss. So if you get some rain, it's going to be a lot. And once again, some areas could end up a little drier. Now tomorrow, we're looking at some wet weather trying to make its way into the south and east. And so the excessive rain outlook showing a small risk for maybe some heavy rainfall and flash flooding, mainly to our north in parts of Tennessee and the Nashville area. So I think I've heard rumors of Taylor Swift maybe up there doing some concerts. So might want to monitor that if you're out and about. Speaking about being out and about, here's your weather on the go. Download the WBRC First Alert weather app. There's actually an item on the bottom of that screen where you can click on that and look at the radar and get an idea where the rain's moving. And of course, we'll send you updates through there as well. So get ready for a wet pattern. Make sure you grab that rain jacket and that umbrella.
Thanks, Matt. Well, here at home in central Alabama, a second storm shelter is coming to the city of Calera. Leaders say this much-needed shelter will provide safety to residents during severe weather, and that's all thanks to the nonprofit Rising Eagle. Our Anjane Robinson is on your side with more.
Now, Calera's new shelter will include a restroom, emergency supplies, and be able to hold 100 people.
It's a 10 by 48 foot metal building. It can withstand winds up to 300 miles an hour.
Now soon the city will begin to prep the site before the shelter is brought in.
We will prepare the site and pour a concrete pad, and then they will bring it in on a truck and set it down with a crane and secure it.
The shelter will be located on the south side of the city, and anyone can use it during an emergency.
It's in one of our older parts of town where there are a lot of slab houses, which obviously are more risk than someone who can get down in a basement and try to take cover.
Davis says the city and Rising Eagle are committed to the safety and well-being of its citizens, and the shelter is just another way they're working to achieve that goal.
And that goal to have several shelters in different areas around the city. They hope to eventually bring one to the north side of town. Well, hurricane season officially begins next month. Hard to believe that's less than a month away. And today, state leaders are making sure they're prepared if one were to hit the Gulf Coast. The state EMA joined more than 100 people from other agencies in a full-scale drill simulating a hurricane hitting Alabama. These simulations happen annually and are crucial to making sure all agencies understand what to do when the next hurricane hits.
It's very important for all of us to be on the same page. We know what our resources are. We understand what our responsibilities are. We know how we work together to respond to a hurricane impact, and we have the opportunity to practice that, then we become better at it.
And leaders say, as we just heard in that video, it is important for you to practice your emergency response and know what your family will do if there is a situation with a hurricane. Tania?
Well, let's take it around the world to Spain. Spain reservoirs are drying up after a nationwide drought and 3 years of below average rainfall. With no rain in sight and temperatures rising, farmers are actually searching for new solutions to water their crops. So CNN's Fred Pleatkin reports. Take a look.
From afar, even a natural disaster can look majestic. But up close, the full impact of the global climate emergency is clear to see. This is the Sau Reservoir near Barcelona, normally one of the largest bodies of fresh water in this part of Spain, but months of drought and the water levels are so low, an entire medieval village, usually underwater, has come to light.
The folks here say normally you'd barely be able to see even the tip of the medieval church because it would be almost fully submerged. But now, as you can see, the church is very much on land, and the authorities here fear things will get much worse once the summer's heat really sets in.
The Sau Reservoir is already at less than 10% capacity, and that's causing hundreds of thousands of acres of farmland to dry up. All of this wheat is probably lost. Farmer Santi Caudevilla shows me why. The grain should be milky, he said. We're in a critical moment. If it doesn't rain, this will end up empty. We should be seeing the grain come up to here, but it's only like this. If it doesn't rain in the coming week, the crop will be zero. But there is no rain in sight, and temperatures in Spain have skyrocketed. Scientists at the Institute of Agri-Food Research and Technology are trying to find ways to make very little water go a longer way. Chief scientist Juan Girona says efficiency needs to be maximized.
It's our goal, taking the most of our drop of water.
Just like the crops, the people in this area are also in survival mode. Dozens of towns are without water and need to get it trucked in. The village Castellcir hasn't had any for about a year, and residents say they can't even remember the last time it rained. I don't recall, Juan tells me. It's been a long time, a year or more without proper rain. Nothing. This region of Spain is a breadbasket for all of Europe, and while the authorities say they're building desalination plants to combat the water crisis, the head of the region's water authority says life here might change dramatically soon.
Sometimes I think about the capacity of the territory. I mean, is this a country where we can handle with the increase of citizens, tourists, industry, farmers, agriculture, or we should stop?
And that point might be closer than some believe. Back at the Sau Reservoir, authorities are actually draining most of the remaining water to prevent this precious and ever scarcer resource from getting contaminated by the sludge at the bottom of this once mighty lake. Fred Pleitkin, CNN, Barcelona, Spain.
Wow, such an interesting story, and we hope for better in Spain in the months to come. Coming up next on Weather Extra, we'll be talking about our switch to a more unsettled, stormy weather pattern, checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt, and I'll take you beyond the 7-day to show you how the rest of May is looking. We'll be right back.
West Shore Home is making shower and bath remodeling easy and more affordable for everyone. Hey everybody, I'm joined by Kirsten Page from West Shore to find out exactly how they're making that happen. Kirsten.
So Joe, we've been able to give homeowners, over 165,000 of them, the shower and bath of their dreams by making it a fast, easy, and convenient experience. But now we're making it even more affordable to start your project without breaking the bank.
Now Kirsten, when someone starts a remodeling project, costs can be a real concern. So how are you making it more affordable to start that project right now?
So instead of me telling you, why don't I show you? This homeowner was having some problems with their old shower. They called us, we stopped out, and we completely removed the old bathtub and replaced it with a walk-in shower in just one day. The best part? We can do a job like this for as low as $99 a month.
$99 a month, that's incredible.
It really is. We understand that budgets can be a little tighter this time of the year, so we want to make it easier for folks to get their projects started right now. So let's go ahead and look at another project we recently did. This homeowner was so excited to get rid of their old bathtub because they were getting an easy, low-step shower. You can see here we took out that old bathtub and removed everything down to the studs. Then we installed new walls and fixtures. By dinner time, this homeowner had their brand new shower, and the best part, they didn't need to worry about paying for their entire project up front. They were able to break it down into low monthly payments.
That project looks amazing, and the low monthly payments is going to make getting that project started so much easier. Kirsten, thanks so much. Folks, West Shore Home is making shower and bath remodeling fast and convenient, and you heard Kirsten, now they're making it more affordable too with their easy, low monthly payments. Call the number on your screen right now to start your project, and when you do, take advantage of this great offer. Call in now to get your new shower for as little as $99 a month. On top of that, they're doing free installation on all shower and bath projects. Don't delay. Call the experts at West Shore Home now.
Change is starting to happen in our weather. It's been incredible out there. It feels nice right now in the short term. We've got the dry weather happening. 75 in Birmingham. We're at 74 in Anniston, 76 here in Tuscaloosa. Next few days, highs close to 80 degrees out there. Let's take you to Jasper, a live look, and you can see those high clouds starting to move in. Dew points up to 55. That value will continue to increase during the overnight hours as the atmosphere moistens up, and it looks quite cloudy here now at Nectar. You can tell, things starting to change. Checking out the view in East Alabama, Glencoe, where it's 73 degrees and a light wind out there, certainly much lighter compared to past couple of days. But next 24 hours, this is from the HRRR model, and it shows that chance for some showers moving in during the early morning. And during the day tomorrow, that's 8 o'clock in the morning, there could be some wet weather around. If you plan on mowing some lawns tomorrow, if you have some jobs you're trying to finish up outdoors, I can't rule out some passing showers during the first part of the day. And again, we can't totally rule out a storm moving through the area. We've seen some hints of that past couple of days. Sometimes, you see these, I've seen showers over North Mississippi, and all of a sudden storms start popping up and those things just take off. You get these northwest flow kind of setups here, a little bit tricky. So don't be surprised if we do see some lightning alerts on our weather app tomorrow. That's a possibility, but you get the picture. Now this is just a model. This is just guidance. This is what we go by, kind of give us an idea of what to expect here over the next couple of days. But this model in particular, it shows at 4 o'clock. You see how it shows a little bit of a break out there. So that's telling us, again, we are going to have some rain possibly at times, but we'll also have some breaks. So it won't be a total washout. And you can see temperature-wise, it depends on what kind of break we see in the afternoon. If we don't see a lot of wet weather after lunchtime, that means there's a greater chance we could see those temperatures possibly topping 75 in a lot of areas. And I can't rule out tomorrow night into Saturday morning. The evening, chances are we'll enjoy a nice break there tomorrow evening, especially if we get some wet weather during the day. But late tomorrow night, it wouldn't surprise me if we did see a few more of those showers moving west to east across the area. Saturday as well, we've seen a lot of the data this afternoon that's rolled in really backed off on the coverage of rain during the day Saturday. But with temperatures rising into the 80s, this unsettled flow pattern, there's going to be a few scattered showers, possibly a passing thunderstorm as well on Saturday. And this happens again Sunday, also Monday and Tuesday of next week. So do plan next several days. You'll want to keep a watch out for some of those lightning producers. Of course, any storm is going to produce lightning. However, the lightning could be quite frequent, more intense with some of these thunderstorms, some gusty winds, and maybe a few hail producers. Not too worried about a storm just staying in one spot and producing some flooding. Not that kind of setup just yet. Things still kind of progressive across the region, but we're holding those rain chances around 40 to 50%. How about that view, by the way? Isn't that lovely? That's from Montevallo there in Shelby County, Alabama. Weather-wise, next several days, it's almost like I mentioned during the 6 o'clock news, like we flipped the switch and here we go, summertime mode. We've got next week scattered storms, certainly not midsummer like heat, but those highs back in the mid to upper 80s and feeling more humid. You'll start to notice that mugginess coming back as well. But will those 80s be here to stay? Let's head over to meteorologist Lauren Linehan, take a look at that long-range forecast beyond the 7-day.
Yeah, Wes, I mean, you kind of hinted at it. I think we're really getting at that point where we flip the switch and those cooler, drier days are going to be fewer and farther between. So check it out. 6 to 10 days from now, it does look like above average temperatures could be taking hold of a good portion of the U.S. And yep, that includes us here in Sweet Home, Alabama. So what could that translate to? Well, Wes hinted at 80s. We're talking possibly mid-upper 80s going into next week and next weekend. And then beyond that, as we get further into May, you can see maybe a little bit more seasonable stretch once we get past next weekend, but generally it looks like warmer than average temperatures are going to be the name of the game here over the next couple of weeks. And with that, we're not just talking about higher than average temperatures in the afternoon, but those morning lows could also run pretty mild. Our normal low temperature this time of the year in early May is in the upper 50s. So how about 60s in the mornings? You see that and you're like, ooh, does that mean it's going to be getting a little bit more humid? Yes, it is. So I'm telling y'all, if you don't have plans tonight, once you're done watching Weather Extra, maybe go sit on the porch somewhere, have your dinner or a little drink, because I'm telling you, the next few nights is going to be getting more humid at this time of the evening. And eventually we could maybe get back down into the 50s for lows that third week of May, but it's not a guarantee at this time. It definitely looks like warmer days are going to be winning out here. And what about the chance for rain? Well, it does show the possibility of above average precipitation through the Great Plains up into the Rockies and then down here into the southeast and along the Gulf Coast. So we've got a very active weather pattern in place. You see these type of setups. We've been talking about Wes and Matt and Mickey and I have been talking about this northwest flow pattern in place. And so what happens is you get this ridge that builds in over the Gulf Coast. And as we're on the northern periphery of that ridge, you can get these disturbances moving through. So here we are next Friday showing another disturbance coming in on the periphery of that ridge that could lead to some scattered showers and storms. Here we are Saturday, May 13th, showing the possibility of some scattered showers and storms, and that being a possibility going into that following Sunday. So you just see these little disturbances in the flow in the middle levels of the atmosphere, and so that does help to create lift in the atmosphere. When you get lift, you get rising air, and as that air rises, eventually it can cool and form clouds. Got enough moisture, you can have some rain and some storms in the mix if you've got some unstable air around, which certainly looks like a possibility. As we get into that warmer time of the year, you've got more energy to work with, that unstable air. So definitely looks like not just this next week, but the week after that, we could generally see a pattern that would favor scattered showers and storms. But hey, while we've been having this beautiful weather around, it's been a perfect excuse to get out in the community and meet all of you. And our very own chief meteorologist, Wes Wyatt, went all the way to Hueytown to check in with third graders today at Hueytown Intermediate School. Look at those cute kids. They are hard to resist. Now, here's the thing. When I go to a school visit, I bring a PowerPoint, and sometimes I'll bring a little science experiment. But you'll know what Wes does? Wes brings his guitar. And Wes has started coming up with some really cool weather-themed songs. So I'm kind of starting to feel like I may not be the best person to go on a school visit. Like, I really need to step up my game. I can do karaoke okay, but those kids look pretty pleased to see Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt roll up with that guitar today. I'm telling Wes, I'm like, you need to start recording these things. Have a little WBRC album we can put out there for the First Alert weather team. But thanks to Wes for doing And speak to a high school today for their honors ceremony. So we just love getting out in the community and seeing you guys. But if you are going to be getting out over the next 7 days, expect some scattered showers and storms in the forecast, and the heat and humidity on the rise. Summer's just around the corner, but check back in with Wes tonight for an update on that 7-day forecast, and catch us back here on Weather Extra tomorrow night at 6:30 on your favorite streaming platform. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Have a safe and happy Thursday night, and as always, may the 4th be with you.